Hello again, it's Alex, and
Lynn.
yes, welcome to episode 10, our third to last uh, video in the Interrail series, where we go to Zurich in Switzerland and we stay in the town winter tour because, as you'll discover in the video, it's quite expensive. So if you want to stay in a big city for under 100 euros a night, good luck. Uh, but otherwise, it was a cool journey, and we hope you'll think so too. So, yeah, without further ado, enjoy the video.
Enjoy.
Yes. There weren't any direct trains to Zurich from Milan, so we had to take a train first to get to Lugano. Or this train only went to Lugano in the Italian speaking part of Switzerland, Ticino, or a canton. But yeah, some nice views from the train, Lake Como, and so on. Lugano, I mean, just based on appearance alone, looked like a place where I kind of wish we had budgeted some time to spend there. I mean, incredibly idyllic, picturesque. Once you got off the train, you see the lake, which is this deep turquoise blue. You see the mountains, you see these old buildings. It all just works so well together in the environment. It wasn't in our plans, but I mean, it was as far as stopovers go. This was probably the top one, I would say.
Agree.
Yeah. Um, well, you never have much to add, but yeah, as you can see from the pictures here, it was we looked around. We did. This was our first introduction to Swiss prices. Went into a store, saw the sticker prices, said nope, and just decided to take pictures. Okay, so it's now the 23rd. We just left Italy and arrived in Lugano, Switzerland, near a lake behind us.
Show the mountain.
What mountain? Mountain. Oh, sort of behind the tree. Yeah, we're now in Switzerland and we're on our way to Zurich. So we're waiting for our next train, which will take us to Zurich. Should come in a little over half an hour. But for now, we're just enjoying the scenery. It's cooler here, probably because of the elevation. And any thoughts, Lynn?
It's pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's very pretty.
Looks like Norway.
Yeah, it looks like Norway, just no ocean, but the lake will do in a pinch. But yeah, we can give an update from Zurich later. We've been bad about updating. Or I've been bad. I took the initiative to do these. So
It looks richer here.
yeah, it looks richer. I mean, it's not like Milan's poor. I felt like part of the problem with it was that it was, a bit too catered towards the rich. But this place probably is too. Anyways, yeah, we'll sign off.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, do an update later from Zurich or Winter tour. So over the next few minutes, you'll see if I took a lot of video of the train ride from Lugano to Zurich because, bar none, it was the most beautiful train ride we've ever taken. The best scenery. It was just I felt like my jaw was on the floor sometimes, just seeing the mountains, the streams, the lakes, the houses, the countryside. It all just worked so well together. Um, yeah. Was there anything you remembered about Switzerland, the scenery passing through it?
Was it better than Slovenia?
Slovenia was also good, but coming into Slovenia, it was pretty dark. There were parts of Slovenia, going more like from Ljubljana and then down to Nova Gorica through Lake Bled. That was also very idyllic, but I felt like this was slightly above. You can't objectively judge these things, of course, but I took so much video of it, and it was hard editing it down. And I feel like these videos don't even do it justice, because I have a decent camera. I'm able to capture a lot. You can see things here like the valleys, and the cliffs and everything. Some waterfalls even, but it's just yeah. I wish I could ride on top of the train in order to get like an accurate picture of how gorgeous. It really was. But there was a funny story while we were on the train. So as I hope you know, Switzerland is a landlocked country. It doesn't have any ocean borders. You can see it on the map. It's surrounded by Germany, Austria, Italy, France, all those. But we happened to be sitting next to a Danish couple on the train, and we were passing a lake. I'm not entirely, I can't remember which one, but then she looks out the window and then says, "Are det havet?" which translates to "Is that the sea?" And no, it's not.
And there was a monitor on the wall with a map that
Yeah,
showed the lakes.
yeah, there was a live stream, and you could clearly see it's not. It's a lake. It's not the ocean. But she still just asked, like, "Is that the ocean?" No, it's not. But here are some pictures to finish it out. As per usual in Switzerland, the train arrived on time in Zurich, and this was actually not our final destination that day because we were staying in a town called Winterthur, which was actually about 20 to 30 minutes outside of Zurich because we could not find a reasonably priced hotel within Zurich. But once we got there, the station was a bit confusing. It was very gray, blocky. Um, we weren't entirely sure where to go, or we did have some time between trains to the train to go to Winterthur, so we went outside a bit, saw a little, but we did have the backpacks on, so that wasn't very fun walking around too much. Um, yeah, and then we just went back down and checked some prices. Yeah, including Burger King. Just out of curiosity to see if it was obscenely expensive. It wasn't horrible, but yeah, after that we got on the train and headed to Winterthur. These are like Norway airport prices. Holy shit. Those pizzas are like 13 euro. As you can see from my comments, it was a rude awakening going into the grocery store as well, but not much we could do. We were there, so at least the damage is a bit minimized when you stick to the grocery stores, or especially the discount stores. If you're in Switzerland, go to the discount grocery stores instead of the regular grocery stores. But we hadn't figured out public transport at that point, so we just decided to gut it out and walk to the hotel, which was about 25 minutes or so. We did make it, no problems. The town itself wasn't that picturesque compared to the rest of Switzerland, but it worked. Understandably, we were both quite exhausted after trekking around Lugano and then Winterthur for most of the day. Lynn decided to stay back at the hotel, but I was a bit more curious and wanted to see more, so I decided to walk back to the town proper because we were staying a bit on the west side, the other side of the train tracks, which wasn't as pretty. Um, and yeah, I thought I wanted to see the actual town. I wanted to see where the action was at, and maybe do a little reconnaissance when it came to places to eat, places to shop, tourist sites, whatever. Because that was where we were staying. We were planning to go to Zurich the following day, but at least in the meantime, that was where we were going to be in the evenings, most likely. And it was a nice place. Yeah, pretty green, not too crowded, plenty of room to bike, not too car dominated. Uh, yeah. Your initial thoughts on Winterthur?
Looks similar to Norway.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're kindred spirits, right? Norway and Switzerland. The only difference being Switzerland doesn't have an ocean, unless you ask that Danish woman. This is quite a contrast with Milan. Just the
Ja, jeg elsker smagen af bacon. Men jeg bliver så det alligevel, så.
From the central station, we headed towards Lake Zurich. In the meantime, we were able to take in some of the city scenery. The downtown area wasn't. I mean, it was cool, but I felt like maybe it wasn't really geared for us, or like, yeah, targeted to us because it was just luxury stores here and there and everywhere. Either luxury stores or banks above luxury stores, or luxury stores and banks. Those were your choices walking through that part of Zurich, at least. Um, I did like the trams. The tram network in Zurich was very good and extensive, so that was a plus. And you can see some of the vehicles here. They have that distinctive color scheme. Or I guess not that distinctive. Amsterdam has sort of a similar color scheme actually, but yeah, the weather was nice and cool. The sun hadn't come out yet, so that was also keeping it a bit cooler than what we had been used to with 30 degree, 80 something degree Fahrenheit plus weather for most of the time. Nice break. Spain. Yeah. It's using itself as a pillow. One thing that piqued our interest when we looked on the map of Zurich was it said there was a Chinese garden next to the lake. And of course, as you saw in the previous video, we do like Asian things, and this was in Asia, but this was as close as we could get at the time. And we therefore decided to head to this Chinese garden, which was actually a nice little slice of tranquility in an otherwise pretty bustling city, I would say. Um, yeah, they had some nice pavilions, some calligraphy on the pillars, and ponds, bridges. Yeah, the whole shebang, as they say. Anything you remembered?
I like the cooler temperature.
Yeah, the temperature was cooler too. Yeah, that was a big plus. We do mention it elsewhere in the video in our updates, but yeah, it was so much. It was easily 10 degrees cooler than what we had been used to. 10 degrees Celsius, which is what, like 20 something Fahrenheit. So I definitely could not complain about that. Plus, with the cloud cover, it just minimized the need to get to lather ourselves with sunscreen. So it's the 24th, just afternoon here. We're in Zurich. We're currently in the Chinese garden of Zurich, which was a gift from their sister city, Kunming, a few decades ago. Initial thoughts on Switzerland, Zurich?
Expensive.
Expensive, yes, it's quite expensive here.
Pretty nature.
Yeah, the nature is nice. The train ride up here was astonishingly pretty. But after this, I guess we'll go to the tram museum. I'll figure out how to get there, and then I'm a little hungry, so I'm not sure.
Public transportation is also expensive.
Yeah, public transportation is also expensive. For a one-day ticket, it's the equivalent of 28 euros.
For one person.
For one person. We paid that, in some cases less than that, for a multi-day ticket for two people. It's a nice place.
I'm shocked you didn't know it. Switzerland was expensive.
I knew it was expensive. I didn't know how expensive.
The weather is nice.
Yeah, the weather's nice. We're finally out of 30, 35 degree weather, back into the 20s. The high today is 24. That's in this high 70s Fahrenheit. It's cloudy, a little breezy. I don't need to wear a tank top. I have my towel scarf, but I don't really need it either.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Maybe we'll do an update later today. If not, tomorrow when we head to France. We then headed. We checked public transport, but it made the most sense to just walk to the tram museum. I think it was another 20 minutes. We did a lot of walking in Switzerland, looking back in retrospect. But in all in good fun. And we did end up taking the tram back from the tram museum. And I thought I had more footage on the way, but we do have some pictures of the tram museum in the meantime. It was a cute little museum. We went, I think, pretty close to when it opened, or at least when we went there was barely anyone else there. So we more or less had the place to ourselves, save maybe like a family with a few kids. But yeah, they had trams from all throughout the city's history, the networks, the machines, models, as you see. Um, yeah, ticketing machines, everything. And yeah, I thought it was cool. What did you think?
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. You got a chance to drive one?
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, at this point we were pretty tired. We did walk around more. We checked out a bookstore. We saw a house where Vladimir Lenin used to live. I didn't include the picture here, but yeah, just seeing more of the town, walking back towards the central station, more or less. And then I went to a gift shop. I got some stickers and a flag patch for my backpack. Yeah, the old town was nice. And then it's hard to see, but you see some of these fountains in these videos. You can drink from them. The fountains they have in Switzerland in the cities in Winterthur and Zurich. You could just go up and get fill up your water bottle and everything. The water is safe to drink. We even saw some dudes bathing in one. I think you remember that, right?
Not right now.
Okay, I thought I swear, or maybe I saw it in a picture. That could be a false memory. But the point remains: the water quality is excellent there, including the lake, as you could see previously. A bit of a jade green, bluish type color. Makes for good pictures. The skyline itself also quite pleasant. But yeah, at this point we were just sort of wrapping up loose ends, getting ready to go back to Winterthur to rest up for our journey to Strasbourg the next day. Any final thoughts?
I like the architecture.
Architecture was cool. Yeah, overall it was a nice place. Prices aside, like, gorgeous. Definitely worth a visit. And thus ends our trip to Zurich. One thing I did mention in the video, we actually did make a side trip to the arena where the Zurich's top professional hockey team plays. I just wanted to check out the shop. That was also a bit of a schlep. Maybe not worth it in retrospect, but that was why I didn't include anything. I didn't take any footage, but overall, yeah. Thoughts on Zurich?
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a nice picturesque mountain break from all the insanely warm weather and crowdedness that characterized other parts of our trip. So that it was a nice respite. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. And in our penultimate episode, we will head to Strasbourg, one of the capitals of Europe.
Enjoy.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.